Enzo Maresca and Chelsea, this might be it. This might be it. Yeah, it might be it. Maybe he might make it to January, the end of January, but it doesn't seem so. But listen, welcome to Famous Football. I'm your host, Nate. Let's talk football. What happened? Yeah, let's start with yesterday. After the Bournemouth game, right? And then we'll come to today and all of the little madness that is going on concerning Enzo Maresca, right? Yesterday, after the Bournemouth game, right? Basically, Willie Caballero, the assistant coach, went to go and do the post-match press conference. Usually it's the manager that went to do that. But when he went there, he said Enzo Maresca was not feeling well. That was the reason Enzo Maresca didn't do it. But then Ben Jacobs comes up with the exclusive today saying that Enzo Maresca was not a post-Bournemouth. Understood he chose not to attend the post-match press conference because he is in the middle of making a decision as he considers his option at the club. Understood Maresca is frustrated by the aspect of the Chelsea project affecting his independence to make decisions and strategic elements don't always align with how he wants to manage. This leads to his post-Everton comment, which had been brewing some time, right? Maresca has said publicly he loves Chelsea as a club and its fan base and releases the pressure of delivering results. But my understanding is he is struggling to work within certain conditions. And I think this right here, right, this particular article or post from Ben Jacobs kind of sum every single thing that is going on at Chelsea. But before I give you my opinion, let's go into other things that have also been said, right? Jacob Steinberg also came out to say this, right? There has been suggestion that Maresca wants more power at Chelsea, but they are not willing to alter a structure that has been built. An extensive recruitment team and focus on signing some of the best young talent in the game, right? So Maresca won. So what Ben Jacobs said, this is basically an addition to it, right? And then Martin Lupton came out to say Enzo Maresca is prepared to quit Chelsea after a massive fallout with the Blues board. Now let me say this. Since he made that statement, right, I'll call that the Everton statement, right, because I think after the Everton game, before the Everton game, that was when he made that statement, right? His worst 48 hours at the club, Enzo Maresca said. Since that statement, we already know there was things going on in the back end, right? But since that statement, I think the fallout intensify, right? Whatever dispute or disagreement was between him and the Chelsea board, it intensified, right? So now, right, it's been reported that Ben Jacobs again, he said, Chelsea have no plan to sack Enzo Maresca in the immediate aftermath of the 2-2 draw with Bournemouth, but there is a certain result need to improve in the new year, right? The Chelsea boss could come under increasing pressure in January if results don't change. Chelsea hope to review Maresca in the summer, but the plan could be brought forward if form isn't turned around with Maresca on a run of win in 7 Premier League. So if things doesn't change, right, they could fire Maresca, right? Fabrizio also came out and said the same thing, right? Enzo Maresca future under discussion at Chelsea, right? Tense situation with doubts intensifying. Club and manager assessing the recent result and general situation. That kind of points back to what Ben Jacobs also said, right? Maresca is considering his option right now at the club. Enzo Maresca, is he the best manager we ever seen at Chelsea? You and myself no, right? Nowhere close. As a manager, is he, flawless? No. Maresca make a whole lot of mistake that he should be making. So in that regard, right, I will speak from the owner's perspective, and I'll also speak from Maresca's perspective, and then I will give you my opinion as to who I think has a point here, right? Maresca, looking at what he has done so far, right, is demanding what he's demanding, right? He's came back, won us the Conference League, the Club World Cup, and then take us back into top 4, right? His win, his result is pretty good, right? The stat speaks for himself in terms of what he's doing with the Chelsea squad, the way they've been building, the way they are building, and all of that good stuff. It seems pretty good, right? Now, I have another video coming for you soon about that, right? ChatGPT basically rate Chelsea entire year, and And some of this stuff are in there, so I'll bring that to you soon. But and then the owners, on the other hand, right, looking at the recent result, and this is football, right? And this I have to back them with it, right? You have to win. This is football. And at Chelsea Football Club, this is what we demand for you, and this is what we want from you as a manager. You must win, right? Regardless of the situation, we want you to win. Right? And now they are also looking at the game against PSG, the game against Arsenal, the game against Liverpool, the game against Barcelona. And they're basing us off of that, saying that Chelsea do have a good players, do have a good squad, or they do have a good team. So now they are blaming Maresca for whatever that is happening on the pitch. Right? And to an extent, you can see where they're coming from. Right? And then Maresca's own point here is that, right, he does not think this particular squad can go ahead and win the league or go ahead and win the Champions League and all of that stuff, right? So he does not think that the squad is good like the way the owners do think that the squad is good enough, right? So you see the little bit of a disagreement here. And Maresca is making certain demand as to bringing in players, bringing in experience, right? And the owners does not think so. Now, we're seeing that Maresca is saying that he wants more power. And that simply means he doesn't want interference. Because we all know, like Benjico said, the owners is trying to control as much as they can control. And that includes how the manager manages the team. And that's not good. If you brought the man in to do the job, let the man do the job, right? If he's failing at the job, then you have a discussion with him. Either you kick it up, brother, or you out. But now, with everything that they're doing, or whatever that they got going on, right, at Chelsea, rather, that's the problem. Because whatever system that they are set up, now, the manager is it's like a puppet. The manager is a puppet. So it doesn't matter, right? What they're trying to have a system where, regardless of who the manager is, right, Chelsea can still be an elite club and can still perform at the highest level, right? Now, is that working so far? No. Because we see managers come in and managers go out, right? We talk about that with Roman, right? Roman is like either you win or you get out. But now with the new owners, it's either you comply to whatever we have or you get out. Maresca came in and I talked about it. Well, I did a video and I mentioned why Chelsea problem is beyond Maresca. And the reason here is that the owners are trying to control everything. Their need for power, right? Or their need to control everything is becoming a problem. And that's the problem. Because listen, that's why I said they will not bring an elite manager to the club. Because you cannot bring an elite manager into Chelsea and then try to tell him how to manage the team and how to coach. He's going to leave. And that's where Maresca is at right now. He wants to leave. Because if they continue with it, he loved the players at Chelsea, right? He loved coaching the like of Rich James, Cucurella, Cole Palmer, Esteva. Yeah, all these people, he loved them. But what the owners are doing, you cannot tell him what to do. So now he does not think he have the freedom to be able to implement what he know he can implement, or to be able to do what he know he can do, right? He does not have enough power. He feel like a puppet, or whatever he's trying to do, he can't do it because the owner always have somewhat of an agenda. And then they're trying to tell him what to do, how to manage the squad, how to coach. And these things will frustrate anybody. Regardless, if you are in a job and always your boss is hovering around you, telling you what to do, what not to do, right? Listen, as much as you love the job, right, you will want to leave because of that. It's frustrating. It is frustrating. And I think regardless of whoever they bring in, because now there's also playing that they're having a contingency plan that if Maresca get to leave or they get to sack Maresca, they can bring in Liam Rosenel from Strasbourg. But they also think that may interrupt the Strasbourg season and their progression as well, and rightfully so. But then now, who is the manager that you're going to go bring in? My problem is not so much about the manager that you're going to go bring in. Because regardless of who you bring in, this problem still exists. The problem is not the manager. The problem is the structure that they have set up. That the manager is basically a puppet. You don't have any say. All you need to do is just, do whatever we say you have to do. And you saw that with Poch, right? When Poch came in, it was basically everything was okay, right? Yes, man. He was basically being a yes man. And then at the end result, it all blew out. He wanted certain things. He wanted certain players, and they weren't giving it to him because they had other plans. And now, regardless of whatever manager you bring in, if you continue with this same structure, there's still going to be this problem. It doesn't matter. So now I hear people talking about bringing in Cesc Fabregas. I hear people talking about going in for Cannon. All of those people, listen, regardless of who Chelsea gets to bring in, if that particular structure doesn't change, the problem will still remain. Is Maresca perfect? No. Is he doing a fair bit of a decent job? Yes. I have my own big, not even fair bit, huge problem with Maresca. But do I think Chelsea sacking him right now or letting him go or him quitting is the solution to the current Chelsea problem? No, nowhere close. Because the problem is beyond him. Whatever structure that they have set is not working. There is a problem. So they need to figure it out. Either they revise their structure, give the manager a fair bit of power in terms of him demanding certain things. And I get it. My thing is this. You want to buy all of the young players that you want to buy. Now, you left, you have done yourself a favor by getting into the multi-club model system, which is good. That allows you to be able to buy as much player as possible. But now when it comes to the integration part of it, there where the problem is. Because you cannot just bring whoever into the squad because, you promised them in a contract. And this is where Maresca is asking for more power. Because once he get that, he can be able to tell you, okay, this person not yet, this one not yet, that one not yet. Right? Because for the team to be able to gel, you need consistency in terms of not just in terms of playing, but the players being around each other. You need that consistency, right? For them to get used to each other, one another. And that's the current Chelsea problem. There isn't one. Because this season, you see a whole bunch of people, and then next season, it's like half of them is gone, and then you see a new people. So it's like everybody is readjusted, and that's where Maresca's problem is, right? So far he's the only one that has spent 2 years under this new manager, or maybe now you can say a year and a half, right? And that's the problem, because now you bring in this group of people, you get rid of them. It's like the inconsistency is not just in the coaching, it's also in the management, right? Or the way the club is being run. That's where the inconsistency is. Because you bring in somebody 1 minute and then the next day they're out, right? So the manager himself, after the struggle that he's going through to be able to integrate that person, make that person useful into the squad, now they're out. You bringing in a brand new person, now he have to repeat that entire process again. And you think he's not going to get frustrated? He is going to get frustrated. Listen, whoever it is, you will get frustrated because you cannot do this particular thing day in, day out. And considering the fact that the squad itself is inexperienced, and then when the people that you bring in, it's not that they're better than the person that just left. It's either they are at the same level in terms of experience or even worse. So the manager job is even far more difficult. So whatever Maresca is doing, as much as we have problem with Maresca tactically, right, at times, we know that his understanding of the game is there. We've seen that, like I said, the Uno themselves make reference to the big games that we play and how we perform in them. So rightfully so. But then when it comes down to it, you cannot just look at the man and go, okay, results have to change. That's why he said, Maresca once said, right, we can look at it and say it's experience, but we can also analyze it as something else. It's beyond just experience at this point. Because if I'm getting used to the player getting used to me, certain level of consistency is there in terms of who is here at the club, right? We maintain that. And then everybody get used to one another. So it's not just on the page that you maintain, as fixed starting 11, but a fixed group together, right? Everybody bonding together. They get used to one another. That's how the squad grows. So now if this owner are trying to do something, I don't know, contrary to, because I don't even know what to say. Whatever they're doing is not working. Maresca out? You think that will fix it? No, I promise you, whoever comes next, this particular problem will continue. Because it's not so much of the manager anymore. It's the system, it's the structure that have been set up. Whatever it is not working, right? Listen, we've seen a fair bit of, maybe the integration of some of the young players working. And you can also see the inexperience of them as well, right? I'm not saying get rid of that model. No, right? It's a good model to have, right? That's why you went ahead and accumulated Strasbourg, which is good. And now you're looking ahead to accumulate other a club to add to the multi-club model as well, which is good. Or those things are good. But now, when you're trying to find a balance in your squad, right? You cannot just be getting rid of people, bringing people. You cannot treat the team, yeah, like, I don't know, like a highway. Everybody going in and coming out, yeah? Like everybody going in and coming out. It's not going to work. It's not going to work for anybody. So listen, let me know your thoughts down below about everything we just discussed, right? Maresca quitting. What do you think about that, right? Is it the owners that the problem? Is it the structure that is the problem? Let me know your thoughts about every little thing. But thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video. I told you I got a video coming for you. ChatGPT rating the entire Chelsea year 2025. So stay tuned for that. Thank you very much. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. See you later. Cheers.